What's up, guys, and welcome back to Wake Entertainment. So the issue of Bongani Ntanzi is a very hot one, and the main issue that I've seen is that Bongani Ntanzi's confession was actually taken at night. This is very, very surprising. Like, who really works at night and takes down a confession statement during that time? But that is exactly what happened. Let's listen to this.
Welcome back. Now, the High Court in Pretoria has heard that accused number 2 in the Senzo murder trial, Bongani Ntanzi, was booked out of police cells the entire day and night before his alleged confession. This is contained in police station records, which shows Sergeant Vusimusu Bongani booked out Ntanzi. The defence contends that Ntanzi was tortured and assaulted prior to the alleged admission. Ntanzi and 4 others are currently on trial for the 2014 murder of the soccer star. And of course, our ace reporter Griselda Lewis has been following this trial throughout the twists and turns. So another twist, another turn. Griselda, give us the latest.
Absolutely, Francis. So startling revelations. The defence basically saying today that the Pretoria North police book shows that accused number 2, this is Bongani Ntanzi, was booked out of the cells at 8:15 a.m. This is on the 18th of June 2020 and booked back into the police station at about 2:30 a.m. Now, this is on the 19th of June 2020. Why is this significant? You'll recall that the 19th is the day that Ntanzi allegedly first confessed. Advocate Zandile Msholo suggests that it is suspicious as there's not even a record of Ntanzi being taken to court. Let's take a listen to what she had to say.
It's booked out in the morning, it's taken back early in the morning at 2:30, is booked out at 4:50. In other words, it means this person did not sleep, according to the entries as I was following them, because it's booked back at 2:20 and then at 4:50 it's booked out to court. But I know.
So the main issue that is there is that this confession was actually taken at night, and the questions that have to be asked, the first one is that, was a police procedure actually followed in this circumstance? Because who actually continues to interrogate a suspect all the way from morning and going into the night? Because these procedures might not have been followed, but obviously in some circumstances, according to the research that I've done, some confessions can actually be taken at night due to logistical reasons or the urgency of gathering evidence. But in this instance, I have not seen any reason that may justify why Bongani Ntanzi's confession had to be taken at night. There was no agency at all to gather this evidence and maybe present it in court. So the main concern in legal circles that is then raised is that this confession, this is a question that would then come up, was it not taken under a prolonged interrogation? Because Bongani Ntanzi was taken at in the morning at around 8. Now that's a normal time, but then Bongani Ntanzi was then released at around 4 a.m. So the question and the issues that are then start rising up is that, was he not coerced into giving that confession? Because who really interrogates someone all the way into the night like that? So that is why Advocate Mshololo was then asking all of these questions about the time in which Bongani Ntanzi still remained under interrogation. She was raising a possible police misconduct. So definitely under all of these circumstances, these issues have to be scrutinized to determine if this confession was voluntary and was actually meeting all the legal standards. So this is what happened. Bongani Ntanzi got like booked out of custody at 8:15 and then returned back at 2:30 in the morning. So he spent like the whole day and into the night. So what is actually surprising is that Vivian Kronje, who actually recorded Bongani Ntanzi's confession, actually testified that Bongani Ntanzi was actually calm and relaxed. That's very surprising. But what he did note down was that Bongani Ntanzi had not bathed for 8 days prior to giving that statement. It's really surprising. So Bongani Ntanzi had actually not bathed for 8 good days leading up to the giving that confession. So the question that have to be asked is that why was Bongani Ntanzi like not given the time to bath leading up to that confession? Did the people who have him in custody actually knew that in 8 days time Bongani Ntanzi is going to be given a confession? So maybe, you never know, they were actually preparing him for giving that confession. So these are the questions and like some of the things that should be investigated and scrutinized, because we may focus on the particular day itself, but the events that lead up to the final day itself, they also have to be scrutinized. And all those like guys who had him in custody also have to, you never know, maybe appear in court and get cross-examined as to like what was really going on during that particular time. So after looking at the issues that Judge Ratha actually focused on, after like 5 good months, Judge Ratha actually like ruled that those confessions were actually admissible as evidence. But the good thing that is there, at least for the defense, to the side of the defense, is that this ruling by Judge Ratha is not final, and it can be revisited if new evidence emerges during the main trial, because the trial is still going on. So if new evidence keeps on propping up, for example, maybe the defense will start calling for the guys who had Bongani Ntanzi in custody to be cross-examined. Then evidence comes up that there was like more like a preparation to prepare Bongani Ntanzi to be coerced to give that confession leading up to the day. Then the decision of the trial within a trial would be revisited and maybe probably overturned. So that trial within a trial decision is not final. But at the moment, the confessions themselves were actually accepted, and they are actually impacting the trajectory of the trial, because the admissibility of these confessions is definitely like influencing the court's final judgment regarding the accused that are involved in this Senzo Mewa issue. So Judge Ratha, like, how did he like rule that these confessions were definitely admissible? He definitely looked at all of these claims and the evidence, and to him it wasn't convincing enough. So that's why he made that decision. But then again, I said it's not final. But tell me what you think in the comment section, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.